Hey, hello, everybody. How are you guys? It's Wednesday evening, 9:15 p.m. in Germany, and we are live for our conscious champagne chat number 11. And you guys, I'm being a little bit distracted because we decided to get a puppy, and I'm being sent all these amazing little beautiful, like cute, adorable pictures of these puppies that are 3 weeks old, and they're like learning to walk, and it's just it's like the sweetest thing on the planet. And it's so funny because I am not a dog person at all. I'm a cat person, so we already have 2 cats, but my family really wanted to have a dog, so we're just gonna have all of them. And I have to say, they are really cute. They're so cute. So the woman, they were born on February 5th. And so the woman who, I don't know, what do they call in English? Anyway, the woman who has the breed, she is sending me all these really cute videos. And it's adorable. It's adorable. I need to show you in here. It's really cute. All right, my friends, say hello when you're live, when you're joining us live in the Mom Leadership Group for our Conscious Champagne Chat number 9. Today, we are going to talk about emotional validation. Yesterday, we talked about how to take your emotional temperature. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. There's a thread in the Mom Leadership Group where you can come back and post on your emotional well-being throughout the day, right? We said take your temperature about 3 times a day if you can. And there's a post where you can let us know how you're doing and how you felt, and it's in the announcements. So it stays up on the top, because in Facebook it's sometimes hard to find these things. And today I want to talk about a super, super important concept that when I learned to take the self-leadership and when I started to learn to own my emotions, I could then start to emotionally validate my children. And when we emotionally validate our children, what happens is actually that they just feel really safe. They feel heard. They feel seen. They feel like we're trusting them. When we validate, and I'm going to talk about like how do you validate and what does it really mean. But when we validate our children's behavior, when we validate their emotions, what it means is that before we try to correct their behavior, we actually acknowledge how they feel. And again, when we do that, they feel like they can trust you. They feel like you see them and you don't judge them, because the opposite of validation is invalidation. And that's what we do all the time. We tend to blame, we tend to shame, we tend to punish, we tend to, we tend to judge our kids all the time, right? Because, quite frankly, that's how we treat us, my friends. That's how we treat our own humans. We are being so harsh to our own human. When we screw up, we're like, gosh, why are you so dumb? Why did you screw up, right? That's what we do. And so we do exactly the same thing to our kids. And so when what I need you to understand is that when we do not acknowledge, when we do not validate our kids' behavior, and even strong behaviors like anger, and I'm going to give you 4 examples here today so it becomes really clear what I mean. But for example, if we don't even validate their anger, because what we tend to do is we see the behavior and then we put the behavior already in a bucket, which is this was good behavior and this was bad behavior. And so we acknowledge the behavior. But what we want to do is instead of acknowledging the behavior, we actually want to acknowledge the emotion. Because when we do not acknowledge, in particular, painful feelings, such as resentment, such as anger, such as feeling hurt, such as, fear, what happens is they repress these feelings. And so when we do not acknowledge them, they are just being literally stuffed inside our bodies, and when we're adults, they're going to be coming back at some point. And that's why we're having such a hard time as adults to like see through the behavior of our kids and start validating them. And so when we do, but the thing is, if we do not acknowledge our kids' feelings, for example, when they're angry, and we judge them, what happens is those feelings intensify. And I really want you to let this sink in, because what we've been taught is exactly the opposite. When our kids get angry, when our kids get mean, when they're totally out of control, we're actually so scared of those feelings, we want to fix them. We want them to go away. And when we do that, we actually do not make them go away. We, again, what we do is the child will repress the feelings, it's going to stuff it in the body, and it's going to come back at some point when the next trigger happens. That's why we have all the gunk going on, right? All the stuff going on as adults. And so when we start validating even the feelings we don't like, even the feeling that causes the behavior we don't like, what happens is you will see that behavior go away. Your kids will not be mean. Your kids will start listening. Your kids will get less and less angry. I've seen this. My daughter, I used to have a lot of anger, right? And my daughter picked up on the same thing. She literally turned into a little copycat of myself. And we see this very often, that our kids adapt our behaviors. And so, as I said yesterday, anger meets anger, right? And it just gets worse and worse and gets worse and worse. And so when I cleared my emotional gunk, when I started to eliminate my anger, and I will be teaching you how to eliminate anger on Friday. That's our separate 4-day course, which is just about rapid anger relief. If you're not in there, let us know. We'll drop you the link. It's going to happen in a separate group. When I started to clear that and eliminate that, I could then teach my daughter to do the same. But before I wasn't even able to do it for myself, I would have not been able to teach her. So how do we validate emotions? And I have 4 examples written down here. So for example, if you have 2 siblings or 2 kids or more, and the siblings are fighting, what happens, right? What we tend to do is that, for example, the one sibling that is really mad and is really angry and hurts the other sibling, we tend to judge that person, right? We let's say your boy hit the sister. We tend to judge the boy. We tend to say, what is wrong with you? Do not hit your sister. That is wrong. We don't hit your sister. And so, which is in its sense right, because you should not be hitting. But the problem is that the way this is being taken on is that we think we are a bad person. That's literally what happens. It's you're a bad person, don't do that. And so what we want to do is we want to go and say, hey, look, I totally get it. You're really angry. You're really, really angry. So you want to acknowledge the emotion that triggered the behavior, right? And just saying, I get it. You're really absolutely angry. I know what it feels like when I'm angry. Oh my God, when I'm angry, I just really want to punish somebody, right? I really want to hit something. I really want to destroy something when I'm really angry. But here's the thing. So you first acknowledge the emotion, and then you put in the correction, right? Acknowledging the emotion will give you the connection with your child. And then you can bring in the correction where you say, look, it's absolutely fine to be angry, but we don't hit any humans, right? Here's a pillow, go and hit the pillow, right? That's one way we do it. Now, what's another one? How often do we ask our kids to do something? Hey, can you please go and brush your teeth before we go to bed? Can you please do this? Can you please do that? And they very often say, no, I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to do it, right? My daughter's favorite word is no, 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 all day long. So what's the underlying emotion? The underlying emotion is resistance. It's resistance. So when you ask them to do something and they say, no, I'm not going to do it, or no, I don't want to do it, what really helps you guys, it's miracles. It's miracles. It's like go and say, you know what, honey? I know. I really don't want to brush my teeth. I just don't want to do it. Ugh, it's so annoying. Like brushing my teeth every day. Oh gosh, I don't want to do it. You know what? I also don't want to do the dishes. I just really don't like doing the dishes. But you guess what? It's just one of these things we just have to do. Right? But it's like when you acknowledge the emotion, you guys, at the end of the day, there's just resistance in them. There's so much resistance. And the more resistance you have as an adult, the more resistance your kids will have. And we have resistance because we punish our human all day long. We tell our human all day long, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this, you have to do that. And so we harbor a lot of resistance and our kids are just copying us. So acknowledge that resistance. And one good exercise you can do yourself is like, what are all the things you're resisting, right? That you're pushing yourself through, even though you don't want to do it actually. A third example is, I don't know if you've had this, but I can tell you I've definitely had moments where my daughter would push me away and say, I hate you, go away, I don't like you. And the first time our kids tell us they hate us, it's like this stab in the heart, right? And it's like, oh my God, like I screwed up. I did everything wrong. It's like, I remember the first time it happened to me, I was like crying for 3 days because I was like reflecting over all the years that I'd done wrong, everything I'd done wrong. But again, at the end of the day, it's just a very intense feeling that is coming over them. And that's something in that moment that happened that really hurt them. It hurt them so bad that they want to punish you. Like they want to fight back. It's a defense mechanism, right? So they can say very strong words as, I hate you. And again, we want to do the same thing. We say, you know what, honey, I get it. Sometimes I hate myself. Like I really sometimes don't like myself, which is true, you guys. Like how often do you not like yourself, right? How often do you not like yourself? And so just saying that, it's like saying, I know, I get it. I really sometimes I don't like myself, but you know what? I'm going to be here. You can hate me. I still love you. I still love you. It's so powerful, you guys. It's so powerful. And it's all you have to do. It's just sit there and go through that and do that. My last example that I have for you is when they want something. My daughter wants something every freaking day. Not one thing, 10 things. Like her favorite thing to do is go on Amazon and create her wish list. And it's hilarious because literally she creates a wish list. And it's so funny because she creates it. She's like, I want this right now. And then a month later, she deletes the entire list and she creates something new, which is I've realized. And so I have one example that one story I like to tell. And those of you who've been with me for a while, you probably have heard the story is there was one day she's like, Mom, you know what would be so amazing? If I woke up in the morning and I had a $100 bill underneath my pillow. And so my typical reaction would have been like, who do you think you are? You're 7 years old. This was when she was 7. It's like, you're 7 years old. Like, do you even know how much $100 is? Do you know how hard I have to work for $100? And like, this is what our adult brain is doing. But this is our emotional gunk, you guys. And at the end of the day, they have no freaking idea what it means, $100, right? And so the way we validate the emotion in this situation is, you know what, honey? Having $100, like waking up and having $100 underneath my pillow, oh my God, that would be so amazing. Like, oh my God, that would be so amazing. That's literally what I did. I was like, oh my God, it would be so amazing. And you know what? One day, it is going to happen. One day, it is going to happen. You don't have to destroy their dreams, right? It's just like, again, validating what they feel because it is bloody damn exciting. It's the same thing when we go to the supermarket. Of course, it's damn exciting. I want everything. Like, I want everything that is in that supermarket, right? And instead of saying no, you can just easily say, yes, honey, you can have it next time we come back. Or, one day it is going to happen and you can have it, Okay? So that's all we need to do. Now, why is this so hard for us? Why is it so hard for us? Because quite frankly, we don't know how to self-validate. We don't know how to validate ourselves. We do not know what we feel very often. That's why we're starting to take emotional temperatures, because it is so important, you guys. It is so important for everything. Your emotions control every freaking aspect of your life. Every decision you make, everything. It's literally rules the entire quality of your life. So the more you get to know about you and your emotions, the better the quality of your life, the better the quality of your relationships will be. All right? So the reason we have such a hard time doing that and validating that is because our kids trigger our shadow sides. And tomorrow I will be coming back here for the last time this week, and I will share, and we're gonna get a little bit deep and just gonna talk about what are shadow sides and why do we have them, and that we all have them, and what do we do with them. So I will be seeing you back here tomorrow. Take care. Bye.